more detail on the to-dos and managing those and how that works.
Perfect.
Okay, so let's get started. We're recording. Thank you, Diana and Gary.
And just a quick note to everyone who's joined the call, if you do have questions as we go along, just put them in that chat box, and Sharon, Gary, and myself will be following along then, seeing if there's anything we need to address. All righty.
Brilliant.
Thank you, Diana. So ladies and gentlemen, as you know, my name is Sharon Whiteman. You can hear us chatting here with Diana and Gary, and we're the team that bring the Australasian Saturday Morning Connect series to all of us, because many moons ago, we were supported by a similar system in the US, and we decided that Australasia would be supported by it as well. So we feel privileged to be able to partner with the field, each and every one of you, in having this experience where we can connect and build community and build our knowledge and skills to be the best we can be in partnership with Mannatech, which is such a great company. So Andrew Hutchinson, he's the second time that we've had him as our guest. We're very fortunate. And I'll just tell you a little bit about his background. If you're already in a business partnership with Mannatech, you know Andrew. He's our customer service team leader extraordinaire. He's been with Mannatech for 2 years, and just shortly after starting, he had the opportunity to visit the head office in Dallas. He experienced a week's training on all things Mannatech, and in particular was focusing on the new Mannatech Plus app at that time, and then more later on with the back office that's just been launched. Andrew is the go-to person in Australasia for everything to do with the app and the back office, and he's so excited to be able to help us with this new and amazing tool in learning everything that we need to know to be successful with it. And, you know, ultimately, I have, as I mentioned, for those of you that were here last week, one of my past lives of careers was as a database manager, and I'm very, very impressed with what they have done for us. So, Andrew, I will make you promote you. It's a funny thing.
Thank you.
I'll make you the host. So you have control of all things webinar now. So you should be able to share your screen.
Perfect.
Perfect. So, and one of the things, just for all of you in the background, we wanted to practice with doing some of the basics as if someone brand new was starting.
Excellent. Thank you, Sharon. So yes, as Sharon said, she wants me to touch on how you would, or what you would need to do when you first get your Mannatech Plus subscription. As you can see, I'm sharing the screen, which is the dashboard. So this is the first screen you come to when you click on the Mannatech Plus quick link from mannatech.com. So this is the first page that opens up. I'll quickly, Sharon, I know you wanted me to go through contacts. I just want to touch on the my profile section just quickly, because when you come into it first, you'll actually have to do this kind of straight away. So yeah, so we've got our personal information here, and this is just your details. It doesn't go on any of your sites or anything like that. Down here, you can see the website display. This is the information that will actually be on this, your unique sites that you send off to people and they click on. So they'll get that kind of information as well as your photo if you want to upload a photo. And then down here is just the URL for your personal sites. Also through the My Profile section, we have the settings box, which has everything that you kind of need to set up. Now this billing tab should be deleted for all of you guys now. I did get them to delete that because there was no need for you to actually put your billing details within this because it's all coming through us. Next one down though, we've got our notifications. Here you are able to put up to 5 email addresses. If you had 5 email accounts, and that means that whenever a notification comes through, it would be sent to each of those email accounts. As you can see, I've only got 1. I do want to point out with this section, your mobile number will not work, unfortunately. Being that this is a US run site, everyone in the US, Canada, or that region can add a mobile number and they will receive texts. However, because we are in a different country, they won't, the system won't allow them to send texts to us, basically. The only way, well, there is a way that you can receive texts. And if we click on this, you can see here there's a little box that comes up. It is basically stating that your telephone number itself, or your mobile number, has a unique email address assigned to it. What you need to do, though, is get in contact with your mobile provider and just find out what that unique email address is. But if you can grab those details, you can actually put that down here in one of the email sections. And then that means the email notification that does get sent out to your unique mobile number will actually come through as a text on your mobile. So there is a way around this. Unfortunately, though, if anyone's put their mobile number in this section down here and are wondering why they haven't received any texts, that is the reason why. It's unfortunately for us, it's just not going to happen. But like I said, you can get that unique email address for your phone. And like I said, any notifications that come through to the emails will also come through to the phone if you've got that in there. You can see these are the different kind of notifications that you will or you can get, and you do have the option to pick how you want to receive those. So via email alone, by SMS alone, or push notifications, which is everything. We have our lead capture tab. The lead capture, I would say for everyone, you want this on. This is the section within your personal sites. Down the bottom, they can add their details and ask for more information from you, or for you to get in contact with them. So you definitely do want this on, but you also have the option to kind of request more information. So they will have to enter their first and their last names and an email address. So it's up to you if you want them to also enter their phone number as well as a mailing address. Again, totally up to you. Like I said, their first name, last name, and email is already something that they need to enter, but you can ask for those extra details. We then have our social media tab, or social networks. It's a good idea to put whatever things you're on within this section. It helps, I believe, with the sharing of media. Okay, so instead of needing to copy a link and then pasting it in Facebook, if you had your Facebook account set up within here, then when you click on that media tool and you want to share it, Facebook should come up as one of the options. Our next tab down, we have our email server settings. Now, not sure if you've received notifications. Actually, Diana, you said you did, which was great. You would have noticed that the email that it came from, the title of it is Powered by Mannatech. So any emails that you send out through this also comes from Powered by Mannatech. So just wanted to let you know that if you don't set up your details here in the Enable Advanced Settings section, then everything that gets sent out from your back office or your app will come from Powered by Mannatech, which kind of, my point of view is it does make it a little hard for someone to know that it's actually from you, as opposed to, you know, it coming up with your email address and your details. So there is some information here on how to actually set this up. Again, if you click on the little question mark, it will take you into the page of all frequently asked questions just to do with that one page. So you'll find here some more details on how to do the advanced settings. It is a little tricky. I tried doing it myself this week, and I have still not been successful in sending one of these test emails. But then again, I don't have that much computer knowledge, so I'm sure you guys out there will be fine. Sharon, you being, what did you say, a data analyst or something like that, you, I'm sure, will have no problems with this. So you might want to I don't know, maybe give some time to other people and show them how to do it as well. The next one down, we have our autoresponders.
Andrew, can I jump in for a sec?
Yes.
Diana has some questions relevant to some of the content
Tabs.
you've already given. Do you want her to jump in now, or should we?
Yeah, definitely. No, definitely.
Go ahead, Diana.
Yeah, thanks, Sharon. I didn't have, just a comment on that. I didn't have any trouble with the test emails. I just had my email address in there.
Yep, this section.
Sent them and they did arrive. So I didn't
Perfect.
have any issue there. My other comment was around the lead capture, Andrew. I did have that turned on because it made a lot of sense to me.
Yes.
What I did discover, though, that when I attempted to send a video to a prospective customer,
Yes.
it wouldn't, she had to, when she clicked on it, she got the M5M video, which is attached to the lead capture page. So that became confusing to her. So I had to turn the lead capture off so I could just send her the video I wanted her to see.
Right.
It defaulted because I thought, why isn't this video coming up? So I emailed support, and that was the answer I got back was that I had the lead capture page turned on, and it forces the first look to an M5M video and the lead capture page.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Although lead capture, so I don't know, lead capture makes a lot of sense to me, but it didn't allow me to do what I wanted to do for, just send one video to someone.
Yes. Okay. Well, that will be something that I can talk to Rhonda about.
Okay.
So I'm just jotting this down so I remember. Any other questions?
No, that was it. Just
perfect.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so just moving down, we've done email server settings. We've got our autoresponder page. So this is, it's almost like, well, it's supposed to do the work for you, basically. You can set up autoresponders. So when you actually have a lead, this system will actually send them several different emails if you want, or just one extra email. The way it works is that when you have sent them, so contact does not watch presentation. So if I've sent them one of the prospecting tools, digital media, if they haven't actually watched that, then I can get a autoresponder to one day later, send out an email to them. So the email system is up here under prospecting, and we have our email scripts here. This is where you would start setting up your autoresponders. So you can set up a unique responder. There is one already in there that Mannatech head office has put in for us, but this tool is for you guys. So get in there, whatever, maybe think about what has happened in the past, and kind of what details or what information people wanted after they first had that initial contact, and you can actually set all that up in an email system or an email file and have it saved in this system, and then attach that to an autoresponder. So as soon as you send them a campaign or a digital media, depending on their action, depends on what kind of auto or email responder they get. Again,
so you can, Andrew, you can customize them to the, so if you sent them an M5M one, there's a specific series that you can customize depending on what you've sent them?
Yes.
So business, wellness.
Yep. Yes, so I'll just quickly jump into email scripts. So here are our email scripts. Actually, is that the one I want? Sorry, no, it's the autoresponder email campaigns. So this section is where you're actually going to start creating or add your campaign. So once we click on Add Campaign, we have all these different features here. Again, there is a guide me that if we click on, it will take you through each step. But we have a campaign name. This is the language that it will be shown in, as well as or well, you can add the market that you want for those kind of media tools. Down here, we get to decide whether this is just going to be a one-off thing, or if it is a user message or a coaching message. So a coach message, I believe, sorry, bear with me a sec. I'm just going to go quickly through this because it does tell us here. So you can then decide whether or not to bundle your campaign with a campaign of coach or user messages. And then it just skips it. But so apologies. One of these is when you set up this campaign, it will either, so one of them will send you an auto response or an email to say to you as the associate, this person hasn't actually looked at this video yet, or you can have it so in 2 days time after you've sent them your details or your site, that within 2 days time it sends you a reminder to say, okay, it's been 2 days now since Bob, or you sent Bob your site, now it's time to catch up with him and see how things are going. So unfortunately, I do apologize. I don't exactly know which one it is. User messages, I think it's the coaching messages that sends you the update, and then the user message is sending them a new message. Does that make sense?
Sort of, yeah.
Sort of. I do. Apologies about that one. I haven't actually had time to send these myself, but I have gone through them, and from memory, that's what it was. So the coaching message, like I said, is it will send you as the associate an email, basically a reminder to say, you know, go out and start talking to Bob again because it's been a week. Or the user message is sending that person, so Bob, more messages. Okay, so moving down, we have our step 2, edit autoresponder messages. And this is where you're actually going to create your email in this section just here. So after adding a contact to this autoresponder campaign, this message will be sent after, and we get to choose how many days we want. So let's say within 3 days of sending the first campaign out, this message that we're about to create is then going to be sent again. We don't have to do a thing. We can either load the preferred, so if we've already set up an email script previously, we've got this here, which is something I played around with the other day. So because I've already saved this under email scripts, it comes up in my drop-down list of ones that I can add straight away without having to write it again. The one that Mannatech has put in themselves is this Mannatech follow-up, phone number busy. So it's just to say that, you know, tried calling, couldn't get through. It also has an email subject here. As you can see, it has this cool little thing with brackets around it. This is actually custom data just here that we can add to any of your email scripts. Okay, so we've got hey, and then contact's first name. Whoever you've decided that's going to receive this autoresponder, their name will go into this section. If you look down a bit further, we've got another bracket section here, which is my phone number. So when this email gets sent out to Bob, it's also going to have my contact number here. And if I ever change my contact number within the system under my profile, then that gets updated here as well. Okay, so remember though that these sections here, or my phone number, are the sections under my profile under the website. Okay, so the top section was your personal details. The section just underneath was the details that are going to be on your website. That's the details that will go in here. Okay, and then very down the bottom is my name. So there are a few other custom data that we can put in. It's all located under this Add Custom Data button. You pick what you want and then Add Selected. When you are picking what you want, you need to have the cursor where you actually want it, because as soon as you add selection, it's going to just input where the cursor is. Then we also have Add Media. So Add Media takes us back to our media page where we've got all the videos, images, PDFs available that you currently have. We can add any of these to the email as well. And once you're happy with how it goes, if you click on the preview message, it will show you underneath basically how it will look when it gets emailed to your lead or your new client. Okay, so and then my details down below.
Can you customize any of the images at all, like upload a logo or?
Yes, so while you're inputting everything, you've got your image. Sorry, you there?
Yep.
Oh, sorry, my phone just logged out. Yeah, so you've got the image here, and then we've also got links. So if you wanted to put a link to something else, you can also add that into here.
Great.
Excellent. So, and then, yep, we just, because I have, what I can do, sorry, is add another message to this. So when we've got our first, what are we going to call it? Let's call it follow-up. We've got our first follow-up. This is the information that we're going to send out first, which is request more info. So this is one I've pre-done. That's going to go out in 3 days' time. And then we can add another message to say, in 3 days after that message, I want to send this. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yep, perfect. Again, you can pre-customize everything. If you've done several different emails that you want all on autoresponder, you can just save those up under the prospecting and email scripts, and then just click on the drop down and pick whichever one you want to go in the order you want. And then at the very end, we're saving the message. And that's your autoresponder complete. I am now going to jump to, did we have any questions about that? Sorry, before I go on to contacts.
Well, so is there somewhere now that you can go in and see that for follow-up, I have this series? So you can see a list of emails that you have for a certain series of autoresponders?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
So you just created a series of 2 emails as a follow-up series?
Yes.
And where do I show what I've got set up for my follow-up series of emails?
So where do you see it all set up in this autoresponders?
Yeah.
Because I didn't save it, there is nothing here.
So if you saved it,
yes,
it would show their follow-up campaign, and then it's got 2 emails.
Yes.
One on day 1, one on day 3,
yes.
whatever.
Yep. And then it's got, like all the other, so if we're going to email someone, you've got the little click button here to actually click it. And then there at the end, there was an actions button. So once you've clicked it, you can action it. So if you want to put things into folders, like your contacts, you can. To actually send that autoresponder though, you're sending an email because it's a full list of things. So to actually get it out to someone, you need to go to send email, and then you'll be able to get the autoresponder here and get it off.
Okay.
Okay. Contacts. So to upload contact, are we uploading or are we just entering contacts, Sharon?
Well, probably entering, and then because I think the majority of people will just enter as they go, but some people might have a a list somewhere that they're currently working on, either in, you know, Excel, or, you know, some people might even have a, you know, more fancy, have a comment limited list or something like
Yes. Okay, perfect. Okay, so from just touch back on what I mentioned last week as well, that everything that you do through this back office it looks exactly the same on your app, and everything you do on your app reverts back to this back office as well. So a good thing I would suggest is to upload a lot of contacts at the one time. Is when you download the app, go to the contact section in the app, and you're able to sync your contacts on your phone. So that will get a lot of contacts into this database pretty quickly to start off with. You can then also delete the ones that you don't want, like you know, the pastor down the road, or the shop owner. You know, anyone that you don't want in this system, you can delete, and then yeah, you don't have to keep bypassing them every time you want to send an email or something like that. The other way to do it is, once you're in this back office, we go to add new contact, and then we can literally just follow everything, add all the details. As you can see, there isn't any asterisks near anything. So if you don't have all the details, it doesn't matter to the system. You can still save whatever information you have. So if you've only got a first name and a contact number, that's all you need to add here, and then save it, and then it saves it in your system. Yeah, it can be as much or as little information as you want. The other way of doing it, if you've got an Excel spreadsheet, we want to go to contacts and then import contacts. And it'll bring up this page, which gives you a few different options on how to import your contacts into the system. So this is all done on your computer. So we have import email contacts. So this is linked to Yahoo. Also says here Gmail. So it's linked to both of them, contacts from a most popular email service. Yeah. So you can do this through your email. We've got the upload your CSV file. Again, as you can see, there's little blurbs on each of them on how they work. The good thing about the CSV file, as well as cut and paste Excel contacts, it gives you actually an example. So if we downloaded the example, it's going to lay it out in an Excel spreadsheet exactly how it wants you to input it and then upload it into the system. So you can see we've got first name, last name, first name, email, phone, if they've got another phone, an SMS phone, so I'm assuming that would be mobile, their address, city, state, zip, country, and notes. So if you want to add any notes to their contact details, that will also get imported into the note section within that contact. As you can see, these are just examples. So if you do download this example sheet, you need to delete these, because you don't want to be putting in people that aren't real, basically. That I think might confuse a lot of people. But yeah, it's very straightforward if you just follow the prompts. So last name, first name, and just continue down the rows. Then you will need to save that, I guess, to your desktop or somewhere within your computer. Once that's all saved, you want to choose the file. So it'll open up your folder. You'll need to find where that is and then open. Once you open it, that will import those contacts into your contact database through this back office. So that's a really quick and easy one, I feel. You've also got this cut and paste Excel contacts. So this is kind of working on this basis again, that you're going to have the titles up the top, and you don't have to have all of them, but these are the ones that they are recommending for you to have. Okay. Again, you don't have to have each column field or each row or cell, sorry, filled in. So if you only know their first name and an email address, then that's all you need to enter here. Just leave the rest blank. It will import it correctly for you, and it will be a separate contact within the system. This downloaded example is the one that we previously downloaded just up here. So that's exactly the same. So yeah, you can download that and then use it for either or. But with the cut and paste, what it's telling us to do is put the details in here. And then what we're doing is cutting, or we'll go right click. Let's copy. And then down here, I want to paste. And then it's as simple as that. So once you've completed or filled in, or if you already have an Excel spreadsheet with everyone's details, then all you need to do is put it in a similar order to this, cut, and then paste it in here. And then I would assume that we're submitting. And then once we've submitted it, it's going to import those details into our contacts again. Cool. All right, so this is a preview of what I've just cut and paste into that Excel section down the bottom. So we've got the preview here. It's come up with Hutchinson Andrew, and that's the way I inputted it into the Excel spreadsheet. You've got these drop-down list here. So if it happens to import incorrectly or back to front for some reason, you can decide that no, this was actually supposed to be the first name and this was supposed to be the last name. You can change those all the way along, as many squares as you've filled in. So Tricia, I haven't actually been through this section, so it's good for all of us to learn, I guess. Where my okay, and then I can add it directly to my folder, which is new signups. That's if you've created new folders underneath your contacts. So like I mentioned last week, in contacts, you can create as many of your own folders as you'd like, and have the contacts within each of them. So the one that I pretended to have was a new sign up contact list. So the import that I do, I can put directly into the new contacts. The following fields are required before submitting your new contacts. So it's telling me here that I need an email. I can't just have my name. I actually need an email address to go along with it. So there we go. That's something that we didn't realize, but we had to have one of those.
There's so much work been put into this.
There certainly is. And look, I must admit, there is, even for me, it does get a little confusing where you need to go to do different things. So, you know, send an email. That is if you want to just send an individual email, or if you want to send one of the email scripts that you have already set up. But in send an email, you can't create an email and then save it as one of your scripts. Okay, so that was kind of one thing that I kept going to send an email and want to set up a new autoresponder, but couldn't do it from that section. So it would probably be, I would say, a good idea to get in and actually do these autoresponders and email scripts first, along with adding your contacts, of course, but then you've got them there ready to go for any new leads that you get.
Okay. And there's been a couple questions.
Yes.
Back to where you're doing the script emails, it says you could go to your email, go to your website. Is that Mannatech's, like your landing page, or a personal website?
go to your, was it here? Or was it through emails? No,
I think you set up an email.
Was it this one?
Yeah, at the bottom there you had go to your website. Was there in the footer that had you in it? Was that where it was?
Oh, okay. Yes. Sorry. I know what you mean now. So that was this one, and preview message. Is this what you were referring to?
No, it mustn't be.
No.
It's Bev. I didn't see what she asked until after, so I didn't.
Okay.
Did any of the text say go to my website in a standard script?
No. So not a standard email script. Possibly in here. So this is your email campaigns and autoresponders. I'll see if, why is that not doing it now?
Let's say go to your website there.
This one?
No, because Bev said, she's saying the script said that you could go to the website below. Was that a Mannatech one or a personal one? So how do you set that up, she said.
I will need to find where that is.
So these folders,
yes.
Are they auto? That's the next question as well. Those are auto written by Mannatech for you to use and customize?
Yes. Yep. So if we click on all, this is everything at the moment. And this is one that I've actually created myself. So you only actually have one here, which is Mannatech follow-up.
Dana, can you take over for a sec? I just have to go handle something. Just a sec.
Sure.
So these are all inbuilt. They're already there, which is what Mannatech has set up for you.
So maybe let's have a look at one or two of those so we can see, Andrew, if that's all right.
Yeah. So these haven't got actually anything in them.
Oh, okay.
So these are just folders that they've set up. So as you can see, I'm on View All.
Yeah.
And the only two I've got here are the one that Mannatech puts in, which is the Mannatech follow-up one. Okay. And then this one I've created myself.
Okay.
So these are just there.
For us to put our own in?
Yes.
Or does Mannatech plan to pre-do some?
So I haven't heard that we're planning to do any more. Okay. So I believe they've just been set up there for you guys to use as however you'd like to use them. Mm-hmm. Again, so like we were saying before, it'd probably be a good idea to get in here, write a few scripts up, and then save them so they're there already for you. And then, well, I don't know, take it, look at the folders and go, okay, let's write one about the company, and then let's write one about new events coming up. And then you could possibly do it that way. You do have the create new folder button down here.
Yeah.
So this is like most of the screens, you can create your own folder and name it whatever you'd like and have whatever you'd like in it to do with the email scripts. But that is there. I'm just trying to think where it says to go to my website.
Well, maybe we can come back to that. Maybe, Bev, if you could type a little bit more specific what you thought you saw so it would guide us back to there. But yeah, certainly I remember in Navigate, we had the facility to save our favourite scripts, and it's a handy thing to have as you work with more potential customers or potential business people that you can reuse.
Definitely.
A script or use it as a base template so you're not having to rewrite them all the time. So that's great. great section of the back office there.
Yeah, definitely. And as I showed before, even with the script, it will still be personalized to them because you can add those data inputs. So it'll actually pick up their name and put their name in there for you without you having to do much at all, really.
Yeah, excellent.
Is there any other questions?
I'm just having a look. No, I think those are the questions for now. I think I had some questions about the to-do.
Yes, to-dos.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any other questions about the autoresponders, or feel free to write them in there and we can go back to that. But I can't see any different questions for now. Go ahead, Andrew.
Perfect. So this is our to-dos tab. So it's under prospecting and to-do. You also actually have a little one on the home screen. So as soon as you log into your dashboard, you'll see it just here in the right-hand corner. These are so up the top, or you will have the ones that need your looking at, or they're actually to be done up the top. So that's a good little hint to look at when you first log in. As you can see, mine have gone red, and that's because I haven't actually done anything with them for more than 7 days. So when you first create your to-do, there won't be any red section. It will only go red after 7 days of you not actioning it. Okay, so again, under prospecting to-do list or to-do tool, we have our follow-up section. So find out where your contacts have responded to the prospecting emails you have sent them. So as you can see, I sent Basil Dog, which is my little puppy, on the 13th of October. I sent them Mannatech app training, and yet he still hasn't seen it or still hasn't watched it. So this will tell you if they've actually looked at what you've sent them in the first place.
Yes, it's a great feature, that, and it also emails you or texts you when they have, and I found that really handy. Yes.
Yeah, because that kind of prompts you to then maybe get in contact with them a bit sooner.
Yeah.
To see what they thought about the information you sent them. We then also have our little to-do list over here. So this is something that, or a little tab where you can put your own details in. So when you send your new lead, like Basil Dog, I sent on the 13th of October, the Mannatech app training, this will pop up in my to-do list pretty much straight away, as soon as that data has been sent to them, that media. So if I wanted to, I can write my own details here on what I need to follow up on with them. Even though it has the details here, you can go in more in depth here, and you can also give yourself a due date. So if you think the 7 days is too long to actually follow up, so the 7 days is just a default thing that will turn red if you haven't actioned it within the 7 days. But if you want less days, then you can actually put your own date in here. To say, okay, well, in 2 days' time, 3 days' time, I need to get in contact with Basil to see why he hasn't opened it. Or maybe it didn't send correctly or something like that. And we can also flag it as a priority. So we've also got our little drop-down list here. This is also within the contacts page. But next to each of the names, we've got a little plus. When you click on that, it'll do this drop down and give you more details on this person. So any notes that you've currently created for them within the contact page will be here. So Basil Dog, I met at the local florist or something like that. If that's the kind of details that you want in there, again, this is for you only to look at, so you can put whatever you'd like there. And then we've also got the activity that's happened with Basil Dog. So on the 12th of October, automatically added to drip campaign, Mannatech's Glyco Cafe. Then 13th of October, sent video, updated Mannatech app training. And then 13th of October again, sent thank you message in autoresponder campaign. So this is the actions I've currently taken with Basil Dog, and yet he still hasn't watched the video. I'm going to have a word with him.
Yeah, you have to get that Basil Dog into gear.
Yeah, definitely.
I have a question. Is this level of information viewable on the phone as well, or is this only viewable in this online?
So I believe it is. Remember last week I showed you that if you go through, so if you log into the Mannatech app, you won't have this much detail in it.
Okay.
But under if you look down at the bottom of the Mannatech app, one of the little symbols down the bottom is, I think it says My Business, or maybe I quickly log in because I don't want to give you the wrong details. So yeah, so it's the second last on the right, and it says My Business. If you click on that little tab, under the business heading, it's got additional services, and that very top one is called Powered by Mannatech, your replicated site back office. So if you click on that, then it'll actually take you into this back office that we're looking at now in a mobile friendly version. So yes, you will have all of these extra details using your phone and through the app, but it's opened up this back office. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
Thanks.
That's all right. So again, this is the activity that I have done through either sending emails or putting them on a drip campaign or an autoresponder. If there's something here though that I've done outside of the app, I guess, you know, possibly given them a call on this day, anything like that, I can add these details or those details in this record new activity area. So I can say on the 14th of October, 2017 at 5 p.m. Called Basil. Why he hasn't watched the video. So then once I've got that, I can save it, and then it'll add it to my activity. Okay, so that's a great little tool as well, because of course this won't actually, you know, take note of any calls that you've done or anything you've done outside of this application. So it's always good to add all the activity you've done. If I click on the little minus button, that all then disappears. Okay. If we scroll down a bit further, we then now have our tasks. Okay. I haven't highlighted any of these as priority, but you can see who they are. You can see there's currently no description, there's no due date, and it's not completed. These bottom ones have been completed, as you can see by the tick. And then we've got our edit button. So again, the edit button will give us an area to write what we actually need to do with this person, what tasks we've set to do with this person. So Basil Dog, right. So I can set myself a task to do with Basil Dog, and then set the date. So that's by next Thursday, and save. It then puts those details in the description. And this is now a task that will remind me if I don't do it. Yeah, and basically that's then my bad. But once you've completed your task, all you need to do is click complete, and then that is done. with your tasks, just trying to remember where we do those. Okay, must only be in this section.
Can you do it inside the contact?
Yes. Good question. So we can basically do all of this within a contact.
Add to do item.
Yep, yeah. Add to do item. So yes, we can definitely add it to do, but it's not going to add it to task. Well, I guess a task is a to do as well. So, but yeah, so that's that section. Anything in particular you want me to show here? As you can see, I've clicked on this contact, which is Drew testing. And then if we scroll down a little bit, we've got some reporting of what Drew has actually done. So website visits, he's done 1, that's great. Yeah, and then we can see what videos he's seen. So we've got the video views here. You can see straight away that there's 2 that I've looked at. And if you look down here, it'll actually give you the heading or the title of that video that I watched. Again, you've got your activity down here, which is the same as on that to-do section. Again, you can add more activity if you've done extra activity outside of this this app. And then we've got the top web pages viewed. So currently it's just a contact info page that I've looked at. But if you've sent them, you know, several different of your personal sites, then it will show you all the different information here, which is a great little tool as well for it.
So, and another question's come in.
Yes.
Similar to the other one. So in this context, the web page is viewed would be a Mannatech one that you sent them to. They couldn't track, say if you got your own website or.
Yeah, no. So it's unfortunately it's only our ones. The sites, sites that you can copy and paste anywhere. It's those that this will count.
Okay, and so that was similar to Bev's question before. The autoresponder said the phone was busy, but suggested you go to a website.
Ah, okay. So that's the one that. I want to get email scripts. Here we go. So that's this one. I find more about this opportunity and how to get started with your business. My website found at the bottom of this email. So that would be this one here. This little www tab.
If you click on that, where does it go?
So if you click on that, it takes us here. So this is the want to learn more, and then enter details, and then that's basically just going to send them, or send you, sorry, a request that this person wants to know more.
Great. That should be good to answer Bev's question there. That's great. We've got 4 minutes left. Is there any questions that anybody is sitting on or thinking of? I think, Andrew, you know what? I think we'll have to have you again sometime. So give people some, you know, a month or two, maybe start in the new year or something. Perfect. And have a refresher. Or has Gary got a question there? He's coming on. Gary's got a question. Go ahead.
Hi, Andrew. Thank you for that. That was excellent. It really is a big sort of boost to what we had with Navigate. There's some fantastic things that we didn't have before.
Yes.
I'm just thinking that with the autoresponders, where you have all those folders set up, I thought it was going to be deep, heartfelt joy there as you opened up one of those folders. and there were example scripts that we could use, because I think that's quite daunting for people. I mean, that is a big job to set up all those autoresponders, and it's quite a special skill, writing follow-up emails and what they say. I think it's going to be a real boom if Mannatech could come up with a series that then we could edit and we could add our little bits to, but it would at least get people started.
Yes.
And save time. At the moment, they're going to be there, sitting there, scratching their head, going, oh, what am I going to write? What am I going to write? And I think it's very, very daunting. So maybe a copywriter at Mannatech could put some time into putting together some content in those wonderful folders we've got there, because it would be great to just click on compensation plan and there's, say, maybe only 5 follow-up emails or something like that. It doesn't have to be a whole year or anything, but something to get people started.
Definitely. That's a definitely, good idea. I will see who we've got. You were mentioning that you had similar things like this in Navigate. Is that correct?
Yeah, we had suggested, I think, Sharon, there were suggested emails. It just got you going. I mean, we were able to just pull in an email and then edit it as we saw fit.
Yes.
Cut out bits that we didn't like, add little bits that we did like, but it just got them done. It could start you off, and I think that's going to be a really good addition if we can get that done.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe that resource is still there in the background, Andrew.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Maybe there might be some way of grabbing a few of those that you originally had back with Navigate, and seeing, if we can bring those over. But hey, yes, definitely we'll ask.
Great. And the other thing is, when you've imported your contacts,
yes,
presumably, I mean, in my phone, I've got pretty much all my leaders, or people that are interested in the business.
Yes.
In my phone, I've also got people who were old leads that never did anything that could be followed up. I've got new leads that are potentially in there. What I think you didn't show is that once we've imported those leads, we can then assign them to the different folders that we've set up. So if we've got a folder which is business, people who are interested in business, people who are interested in health,
yes,
I could see that we can give them an interest level in stars.
Yes.
But I guess we can just assign them to a group, which then could we send out one email to all the people that were in, say, our health group, saying that we've got a great call on this weekend, here's the details, that sort of thing. Yes,
definitely. So you would do that within the contacts page, so manage contacts, and you have a whole range of things to do. What you probably want to start doing is creating the new folders. So as you can see, I've created my own one called New Signups. And if I click on the new signups, I've put Drew and Ray in as my new signups. As you mentioned, Gary, we've got the interest levels. So that's predetermined by you. It has nothing to do with how often they come to the website or anything like that. And then this points section is actually, so it's based on the interest level that you've given them, as well as different things that you've sent them. And if they've looked at it, then it goes up, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's what that point system is, if anyone was wondering. But yeah, once it's in a folder, all you need to do is go to send email. And then up here, we've got our filter by folders. If I click on that and go to new signups, then this is all my new signups. I can select all and then write my email.
Or we could just select the ones that we wanted out of that list.
Yes. Yep.
Excellent.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
really fantastic.
They can be in more than one folder, can't they?
Yes. Yes, they can. But if you want 100 folders and you want one person in all of them, you can definitely do that.
And presumably, once they've, if they're a lead and they become a health customer, a preferred customer, and then they join as an associate, we can change the folders that they're in at that point as well.
Yes.
We can just switch them into different folders.
Yeah. So what you would need to do is click on the box next to their name, which is basically actioning them as highlighted. Go up to actions. Here we want to add, we want to add them to a folder. And then once you've added them to the new folder, you would want to go into the old folder that they were in, make sure that they're highlighted, action, and then delete from folder. So you will actually have to delete them if you want to move them. Unfortunately, this does not do just a simple move from one folder to another.
Right.
Because they've defaulted to being able to be in more than one. So
yes, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
that
really
makes
good.
sense.
Yeah, it's really good. It's excellent. It's really flexible. Andrew, were you able to find out any of the information on the custom URLs, like whether there's another Andrew?
So I still haven't had a response back. However, working with one of our associates yesterday,
yeah,
and going through the app with them, they weren't able to have their own name. So they put their own name in and then clicked on save, but it would always defaulted back to their what was it? The details. So let's just say their account number. So when you first log into it, your account number is going to be your kind of username. So when you change that to your own name and click on save, when it updates or refreshes, it had defaulted back to the account number. So to me, that means that that person couldn't have their own name as a singular name. You would have had to add either, I think we ended up making a joint name, or you would have your name and an initial of your last name or something like that. But unfortunately, yes, so they are unique. I still haven't heard back about searching for notes though in your contacts, which is what you asked last week. So.
Okay. Fantastic. I think that's very comprehensive. Just double check. I think there's no more questions in the chat box. So, Andrew, I think you've done another fantastic job for us, and we'll probably be coming back. But I think we'll, with everybody's agreement, we'll give it another few weeks, maybe even at the start of the year, come back and have a refresher and have everybody with their Q&A. And obviously, if you get stuck in the meantime, you know who the go-to person is at Mannatech Corporate. Isn't that right? And
definitely more than happy to help.
And obviously, your team, your upline or your coach will be practicing this as well. But if you can't work it out together, then definitely you know where to go to, and we'll have another time that we can go again. And everybody, next week we've got Ty Tribble, and we're continuing this series. So Ty is at Presidential and James Hannon team. He's one of the trainers for Social Mobile Global, and we're going to be looking at how to use the new back office from a marketing and lead generation perspective. So some of the tools of this back office. So that's going to be a really important addition. So it'd be good for you guys to have some more things added into your back office so that you can even have it open while Ty's teaching us the next level of marketing with the Mannatech back office. So Andrew, bless you. Thank you so much. It's an excellent job that you're doing on behalf of all of us in Mannatech Australasia.
No, thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right. See you, everybody. Have a great Saturday, and talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.